Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about all things movies, specifically Blu-rays, and if you're not new here, well yes, I have new glasses on, but I am here to talk to you today about the 24-hour flash sale that Criterion had just not too long ago, and I finally got my haul, and I'm really excited to share with you what I picked up. And also, there was recently an Orbit DVD anniversary haul on their site, and I actually picked up a few titles there. And also recently was actually up in Kansas City this weekend, and so I may have picked up a few things and saw some friends. So, and yes, I did put out a video just recently of a lot of the things I picked up. I have a lot of watching to do, but remember, I have a 62 challenge that I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to keep doing it for the Halloween month. So I've been watching a lot of movies, so don't worry, I'm still watching a lot of these movies. So anyway, let's jump into the things that I picked up for these sale hauls. And also, I would love to know if you were able to participate in the flash sale or the Orbit DVD sale haul. I would love to know in the comment section down below what you picked up. So let's jump into the Criterion flash sale. All right, so first I picked up a really big release, that one that a lot of people have picked up and probably have already shown you, but I'm really excited to jump into this finally because I've never seen this and I've never seen the other films that come with it, but it is actually Todd Browning's Freaks, and Sideshow Shockers is actually the title of the whole thing, but it also comes with The Unknown and The Mystic. So I'm really excited about this release. I love the design of this box set. It looks really fun, and it definitely looks like it's a Carney kind of related thing. But Freaks is a classic film that was unlike any other film from its time period. So this all came back from 1925 all the way up to 1932. That's what these movies span. So let's take a look about this, but there's some 2K restorations of all these films. I'm really excited to jump into it. Some early Hollywood's auteur kind of related things. So it comes like this, and it has Todd Browning's Sideshow Shockers. It's probably hard. It's really hard to say all that, but it comes with Freaks, The Unknown, and The Mystic, like I said. And it comes with, in this design, I love that it has a plastic. I love that. It needs to have plastic every single time, Criterion, every single time. It needs plastic cases here. So yeah, love that. And it also comes with this notepad right here. It looks like a notepad, but it's essays, cast and crew, and etc. It's got a book that kind of covers the films itself and the man behind these films. So I'm really excited to jump into this and look at each of these films in their entirety and kind of see what they're all about, because I'm like I said, I'm curious about this. I love this era of cinema, and I believe that this stuff has really not been seeing much light of day. So this is really exciting to jump into. And there is an essay by Farron Smith Neheme. I probably butchered that, but regardless, very excited about Freaks and the like of the Sideshow Shockers, and that's why I picked up Freaks, Todd Browning's release. This is a really exciting release, and I hope you picked it up, and if you haven't, what are you doing? All right, so next is a film that came out not too long ago in terms of from Criterion on releases. It's actually Spy Number 1070. It's directed by Mike Leigh, and I was pushed into this a little bit. I was very curious about this movie for a long time, but I finally picked it up, and I'm talking about Secrets and Lies from 1996. Really excited about this one. It's a long one. It's 142 minutes long, so it's going to be a doozy to watch. But it's also about a woman who's trying to find her biological mother, and I guess it's a very upending, unsettling event. So I'm very curious about this. I haven't seen it. I'm sure a lot of people have, but I would love to know if you have seen it. Let me know what you think of it down in the comment section. But I've heard this is a really phenomenal film, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to pick it up. So, and it's also Mike Leigh, so you can't go wrong. All right, so next is actually a film on a new line from Criterion. It's called the Janus Contemporaries, and I'm really excited about this new line. There's actually 3 releases out right now. I'm going to pick up the other 2 in November when there's another sale from Barnes & Noble. And the first one I picked up is from last year. It's from 2022. It is The Innocent. It's a French film. It's got 11 nominations from the Caesar Award nominations. And yeah, this is actually directed by Louis Garrel. I think I said that correctly. But this is a part crime thriller, part rom-com. So it's very curious about this one. I don't really know much about it, but I've heard really good things. I love the design of this artwork here. This line doesn't have terribly too many special features, but it's a lower price point, of course. And it's just cool to see Criterion kind of branch out to more contemporary stuff. And I love that they're actually putting it into a different line, because I think that's definitely more apt to do that kind of stuff. So I'm really curious about the other releases too. But has anyone seen The Innocent? Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. And the last thing I picked up from the 24-hour flash sale is a box set from Steve McQueen, who is a brilliant filmmaker. And this is a box set that I've been curious about ever since it was announced. And I'm talking about Small Axe. So this is actually, I think, came out on the BBC. There was a small anthology that came out over in 2020. A lot of my friends, especially Sam Elliott and Chris, they've been really pushing me to watch this. And I'm really curious about it. So I'm very excited about it. But the 5 films that are in here are Mangrove, Lover's Rock, Red, White, and Blue, Alex Wheatle, and Education. So I'm really curious about this, is looking at London in the late 60s, early 80s, all the way through that time period, and just getting all those together and figuring out, I guess, the political climate. And it looks like it's jumping into reggae as well, and looking at the violence that in the community that are around this time period, especially the West Indian life. So it looks really interesting, and I've heard good things about it, so I'm really curious about it. Has anyone seen Small Axe or any of the films itself? I would love to know your thoughts on it and what it's done for you, or in terms of viewing, and what your thoughts on are. I would love to know. So now let's jump into the films from Orbit DVD. I picked up a few titles because that anniversary sale had such good prices. All right, so those films I picked up, there was a couple Arrow films I picked up and a Severin box set. So let's jump into the Arrow films first. I picked up The Stylist. I was actually just recently up in Kansas City, which we'll cover at the end of this video. But Kansas City director, writer, and producer, co-writer, producer, and director, Jill. I'm going to butcher your name, so I'm going to say it right here. But I've been wanting to meet her as well. She was actually able to come here to the Alamo Draft House here in Springfield, but I wasn't able to go, which kind of bummed me out. But wanted to pick this up for the longest time. So I've heard really fun things about this. It's a deliciously twisted slice of female-led psychological horror. So this looks really enticing. I'm probably going to put this in very, very soon, since it is October, and I do have a 62 movie challenge that I've decided to freaking do. I don't know why I decided to do that, but this movie might make the cut, so I might as well watch it as well. But it looks like a lot of fun, so I'm very curious about The Stylist. And next is a film that is one that I was very curious about just based on the cover alone. It's Sleep. That cover is very evocative. So I guess this is a grim fairy tale. I think it is a German folk and fairy tale. So it's a German film. So I'm really curious about Sleep. It comes with a really cool slipcover, and apparently this is, I guess, maybe a debut film, I believe, from a New World talent here. It's nightmare and trauma, fear and repression, guilt and atonement. It's got violence of horror mixed in with a fairy tale. That is totally up my alley, and I'm very, very curious about Sleep. I've not heard anything about it. I'm just, like I said, very enticed by this. It looks like a folk horror tale, and I'm very much up on folk horror, and I love that kind of stuff. So very curious about Sleep, and I would love to know some people's thoughts on it. So yeah, this looks so enticing. So I'm very curious about this one. And the last thing I picked up from that Orbit DVD sale is a box set that I've been wanting to get for some time from now. I actually have the first set right next to me over here. You can't see it, but I actually picked up the second set of the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee. So this is collection 2, which has Uncle Was a Vampire, The Secret of the Red Orchard, Dark Places, Dracula and Son, and Murder Story. So it's a 7-disc and book set collection, 6 Blu-rays and 1 CD. So there it is right there. It comes with the films itself, and there is that. And they have the films right there with the booklet at the end. I haven't heard much about this, but I'm a huge Christopher Lee fan, and I have a feeling a lot of these films are probably only starring Christopher Lee for like a brief second, some of them, probably. So there's some misleading stuff there, but Dracula and Son, but I'm a big fan of this kind of stuff. So I'm curious, and I'm definitely going to enjoy myself when I watch these things. So I wanted to jump into this, but the price point always threw me back, and I wanted to jump in finally once the price was right. So I was able to get this and this awesome booklet right there, and there's Christopher Lee with his haunting eyes right there. Don't cross this man. He fought in World War II, stabbed a man in the back. Saruman, Count Dooku, Dracula, Scaramanga. What more do you want? I'm very, very curious about this. I love Christopher Lee, and I cannot wait to jump into these sets. Those are the films that I picked up from the Orbit DVD sale, and that was a really great anniversary sale. I'm really happy that they had that. But segueing from the Orbit DVD sale was a trip to Kansas City. I was actually up to go to Kansas City. I just randomly wanted to come up and see my friends. I was able to visit KB, who KB loves movies, and I was also able to see Ryan disconnected for a brief, a little bit of time, but I was able to pick up a few titles as well. I got one at Best Buy, and a couple were gifts, so I want to say thanks for those, and then also just having good times with my friends. That's always fun. No footage, unfortunately. I just wanted to hang out, so I didn't really want to film anything. But one, I went to Best Buy with KB, and we were able to get a few things. He got a title, which I'll let him share about, but I picked this one up. I don't know. This was just something curious. This an A24 film. Has actually got a decent rating, but is You Hurt My Feelings with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, from Seinfeld, and Tobias Menzies. So it looks like a rom-com, but it looks like a lot of emotion, a lot of drama in here, and I'm very much into that mood. If you recall, recently I was just in that mood before October happened, so I'm really going to be jumping back into it probably in November. So this looks like a really good film. It's also got David Cross in it, I see, and so this is going to be fun. But it's at 93 minutes, so it's going to be a good one. It's from 2023. Has anyone seen this movie? I would love to know your thoughts on it, but I'm sure I'm going to be covering it very, very soon. So now the other things that I picked up were actually gifts. One I have seen, the other one I haven't. The one I haven't seen, which is one that a lot of people are going to be like, what, you haven't seen this movie? Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those. But the first one I want to talk about is the 40th anniversary edition of Flashdance. I haven't seen this movie. I've been wanting to watch it for some time now, but I finally picked it up, finally got it. Luckily, it was a nice gift, so I appreciate that. But yeah, it's on 4K, directed by Adrian Lin, and it's got some iconic things going on in it. I know this is a very iconic film, so I'm just really, really curious to kind of check this movie out. I don't really know much about it besides a lot of the scenes I've seen growing up and seeing a lot of the montages I've seen from this. So yeah, Flashdance, really curious about that. And the last thing I want to talk about is actually a Quentin Tarantino film, his most recent work, and it's a 4K of. I don't have the 4K of it, so I was able to upgrade. And I'm talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is a phenomenal film. It was really, really fun when I saw it in theaters, and it's been fun since I've seen it. I've actually only seen it twice, so I'd love to see it on 4K, and so I was able to get that as well. This is Leo, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie, among a lot of other people in this film. But it's such a fun movie, and it's a really fun retelling of the time period in Hollywood from the late 60s. And that's it for these hauls. I picked up quite a few titles, and I had some fun with it as well. But I would love to know in the comment section down below, were you able to pick up some things from Criterion for their flash sale or from the Orbit DVD anniversary sale? I would love to know in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Give it a like, share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.